of books like that remind me of a true story of how something backfired on us in the old days. This was told me by Geoffrey Strawn, the lovely and much-loved editor of Methuen, when our second Monty Python book was issued. Now, the very, very old ones amongst you will remember that on the dust jacket of the brand new Bok, as it was called, was at great expense a carefully designed muddy handprint. Now, beneath the dust jacket was a very silly and rather rude collection of arms, legs and spotty naked bottoms, beneath the title Tits and Bums, a weekly look at church architecture. Remember that. Anyway, one day Geoffrey received an irate phone call from an angry and very imperious lady bookseller in Hampshire. And she said, I have a customer wishing to buy the Monty Python book for her nephew. The copy I have has got filthy fingerprints all over it. Yes, it's meant to. No, I don't think you understand. There are muddy fingerprints all over the cover. Yes, they're put there specially. No, I don't think you understand. I'm a respectable bookseller. I cannot possibly sell books in this state. Please, it's perfectly all right. It's just the way it was designed. Mr. Strawn, I've been in bookselling all my life. I have a reputation to think of. I don't care what you say. I'm going to sell it to this lady without the cover. Geoffrey put the phone down and imagined the rest. Anyway, to get back to compost, I think Pole to Pole is just as rude in its way as Madonna's book. There are explicit pictures of me being rubbed with mud by a Russian lady in Odessa. I actually suggested to BBC Books that it might not be too late to cover each copy of Pole to Pole with pre-stressed concrete, just to give it that extra sales appeal. Apparently the BBC had used up all its concrete in building a protective barrier for Radio 4's new rolling news station. Anyway, this topic off this. Anyway, my only hope now is that Madonna and I might end up doing an author tour together. Who knows, we might enjoy the ultimate in forbidden pleasure to share a podium at Ostick's of Leeds. Anyway, funny things, author tours, really, aren't they? Sitting behind a pile of unsold books. It's a bit like asking lambs to turn up at Sainsbury's meat counter. I went to the worst signing session I ever did was in Stirling, in Scotland, and it was on a Monday morning. Actually, I think before the shop opened. I was sat there with a very large pile of ripping yarns at the time, and there was nobody in the shop, really, apart from the manager. I think he'd left. In desperation. And a lady came in and finally came over to me and said, excuse me, can you help me? I said, yes, absolutely. What would you like to say? No, can you help me? I've got a book here about aircraft spotters. Pages 57 and 58 are stuck together. Anyway, it's no longer enough for an author to toil away in his or her garret. He or she now has to toil away in Sheraton Hughes and W.H. Smith and Selfridges. I was sad to read the other day that Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf, because of the complexity of his name, was to be instructed on his author tour to write no dedications or other peripheral matter during his book signings. In this way, he could inscribe one copy every 7 seconds. The minimum, it was said, to be considered competitive. Joan Collins, I'm told, can do it in 3.5. Is this really what we've come to? I mean, by this token, Dostoevsky would probably have been encouraged to take up beekeeping. Peter Sackville West to stick to gardening. Thomas A. Kempis to lose the A at the very least. Just put Tom Kempis, really. I actually personally quite enjoy meeting the people who actually buy the books and seeing the pleasure a personal dedication can give, though I must admit I do, after a while, tend to divide the punters out. For instance, I've become very fond of people called Anne, Joy, Bill, Jim, Don, Ron, Mick. Wary of Ian's, is it I-A-N or I-A-I-N? Kathy's, C or K, Elizabeth, S or Z, and terrified of anybody Polish. Once I fear most are the sort of occasional, highly personal requests, like, you know, to my darling wife. And I said, well, it's not my wife. No, no. Loopy girdle or something like that, you know. So, can you put iggy diggy womble the little poo-poo? By the time you finish that, you said, that's not enough. No, that's not the end of it, no. Never expected the Spanish Inquisition in Peterborough, did you, Lawrence? The dedication then becomes marginally longer than the book you've spent 3 months writing. Still, I think even this is probably preferable to the Norman Schwarzkopf's 7-second approach. Move along, no dedication of your book open, do not touch the author. Soon will be issued with rubber gloves for signings. Anyway, it's been great to be here and come down and meet you all, and all of us authors here today, as Delia and Jeff have both said, are well aware that without you, we wouldn't be in business. All I would ask is be gentle with us. Don't put us in the back window, which looks out onto the cemetery, or behind the health section. I hope between us we'll have a very happy Christmas. Thank you, Bertrams, and thank you all for coming here today. Bye.